Boomer Divas. It's Becky Williamson from BeckyWilliamson.com, your Boomer fitness coach on the web. Now, I see women our age range making mistakes all the time. And so these are my 3 big pet peeves that I'm going to share with you today. And I'm going to give you my idea on the solution as well. So the first one is, many of you out there are chronic dieters. And I have 2 words for that. Stop it. And I don't mean to make fun of this, but what I see is women depriving themselves, eating way too little, and wondering why they're not getting any slimmer. Now, you might lose weight on the scale and think that's a good thing, but sometimes women are losing muscle, and if you're truly a chronic dieter, you may be losing bone mass. We just can't do that as Boomer women. We need all the bone and muscle mass we can get. So, what I want to encourage you to do is to look at changing your eating habits into more of a lifestyle approach. No more chronic diets, no more major deprivation. I want you to eat better most of the time. If you want to have a glass of wine, you want a brownie, you want dessert one night, that's fine. As long as it's every once in a while, it's just not going to matter that much. Here's the thing with the dieting that really messes us up, especially those of us north of 40, shall I say. It slows your metabolism down if you do it long enough. Your body is hardwired to survive. So if you start eating less, your metabolic rate over time will slow down. Therefore, when you go back to the way you ate beforehand, and you know you always do, you gain more fat because your metabolism is slower and your body's got to put that extra energy somewhere, and it usually goes in the last place you really want it to. So, again, lifestyle approach. I've got a whole 3 or 4 page article that I've written up for you. It's not a diet. It's simply things that you can do over time to change the way you eat, and it's something you can live with forever. I'll leave you with one last point on my rant on the diet mentality. The next time you get a harebrained idea to go on a diet, I want you to look at that diet and ask yourself this question. If you can't maintain that diet in some way, shape, or form for the rest of your life, why bother? It's temporary, you'll finish it, then you'll go back to the way you ate before, which got you overweight in the first place. So my suggestion again, lifestyle approach. Make small changes over time and eat well most of the time. In my opinion, life is to be enjoyed, food is to be enjoyed. And if you're always dieting, I think life's too short for that. Okay? So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2. Some of you out there are cardio queens. The definition of cardio queen in my book is the woman who goes to the club or goes outdoor to the track and gets on the treadmill or on the track and goes at a long, slow distance for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, God forbid, 60 minutes or more. Hey, here's the thing. If you like that and it floats your boat, I'm not going to stop you. Any exercise is better than no exercise. And there are reasons to do a nice, slow distance. It's great for stress reduction. It might even lower your blood pressure. So there are good things about long, slow distance. But here's the thing. If you're trying to lose body fat, I'm going to tell you to get off the treadmill, or you can still stay on the treadmill, but I want you to change your program. I want you to do interval training. In a nutshell, interval training is interspersing very hard spurts, or bursts, if you will, of exercise with recovery exercise. You can do it really any way you want. A minute hard, 2 minutes recovery. 30 seconds hard, 90 seconds recovery. It really doesn't matter. The 3 things that matter for me in a good cardio interval program are a good warm-up. You can't just take off into a hard burst interval. You need 3 to 5, maybe 10 minutes to warm up. The second thing is you've got to have those intervals be hard. If you're chit-chatting with your friend, or you're reading a book, or you're, God forbid, singing while you're exercising, you may be stress reducing, but you're not getting the intensity that I'm looking for. Intensity matters, so that's the second thing that's important with your interval training. The third thing is I need to see you doing a cool down. You're going to burn more calories in an interval training workout than you are long, slow distance on any cardio machine, I don't care what it is. You're also, here's the kicker, you're going to burn more calories after your workout. When you're showering, you're out to lunch, you're doing something else during your day, you're still going to have an elevated metabolic rate because you're trying to repay that debt of energy expenditure that you did in that interval training workout. So it keeps your metabolic rate elevated for much longer than that half-hour long, slow distance on the treadmill. And finally, it increases your fitness much better than long, slow distance. You kind of push that glass ceiling, if you will, of your cardiovascular fitness by doing interval training. And there's one bonus I didn't even think of until right now. You're going to work out for less time. How many of you out there are busy? And finally, mistake number 3. It's actually a two-pronged mistake. The mistake revolves around strength training. Some of you aren't strength training at all, probably for fear of bulking up or telling me that you're too busy. That's a big mistake. The second mistake is lifting weights with teeny tiny little, what I call Barbie weights. They may look cute and they may be in really pretty colors, but they're not doing what we need those weights to do, which is build muscle mass for you. So let's look at both halves of the mistake. The first mistake of not getting into the weight training room, it's a mistake because we as boomer women, we're losing muscle mass, we're losing bone mass if we don't do something to maintain it. Now, if you decide you don't have the time to weight train or strength train now in your 40s, your 50s, or your 60s, I'm going to tell you that you're at much higher risk in your 70s and your 80s and your 90s of being frail, of having a much higher fall risk, and of being disabled. If you're not in the gym right now, I need you to get into the gym, find a personal fitness trainer, and get a strength training routine going down. If you are in the gym and you're using teeny tiny little Barbie weights, unless you are in rehab for a joint or surgical issue, I want you to lift a heavier weight, a weight that fatigues you at the end of your set, whatever that is, 8 reps, 10 reps, 12, 15, I don't really care. So many women are afraid of bulking up. And it's just not going to happen to you and me. Now, yes, there are women who are big and muscly on the covers of the magazines, but they're in the gym for hours at a time. They're eating things, I will just say, different than you and I would eat, and they're probably supplementing in ways that you and I would never dream of. So forget about the looking like a bodybuilder. It's not going to happen. But I do need you to lift until you fatigue your muscle. If you don't, you will be losing probably 3 to 5% of the muscle you currently have in your body every year. Not a good situation. And finally, if you're trying to lose body fat, you may think, well, I go to the gym and I lift weights and that's half an hour, 45 minutes. I'm not burning many calories. But remember, with weight training, it's not just those moments lifting the weights that are important. You develop muscle mass over time. And as I'm sitting here, my muscle is burning calories for me. My body fat's just sitting around not looking that great. But my muscle is burning calories for me. So if you can put on more muscle onto your frame right now, you're going to be burning calories when you're not even close to the gym. That's the other benefit of weightlifting for boomer women. We not only help maintain our bone mass and our muscle mass, but we're also going to be, in a sense, almost more inefficient. We'll burn more calories in any given day. All right? So that's mistake number 3. Not weight training or weight training with weights that are just way too light for you. All right? So now, what I want you to do is go over to the website right where you are now and look for my 3 lessons for the divas right here at Boomer Diva TV. You can download them for no opt-in and no charge, and you can get started on being a healthier, more fit Boomer Diva. I'm Becky Williamson from BeckyWilliamson.com.